Stand by for action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and good day to my subs and all you viewers. This be the BB Armourer bringing you a video of my latest project, which is a conversion of an Ares Lee Enfield No4 MK1 magazine to the correct shape for a L42A1 sniper rifle. Firstly, a bit of background for this project. These are the three very fine Lee Enfield replicas from Ares. Three very fine rifles. They claim to be museum quality, and they are very, very, very good. But there is one major problem, and only those of you in the know will know what this is. As you can see, this is the problem with the Ares rifles. The magazine that they have used for the L42A1 is the same as the other two, which is okay. You know, I can understand that it's cheaper to manufacture all three, because the three actions on the rifle, you can see, are exactly the same, like for the two scopes, exactly the same, which is correct except for the magazine. Obviously the actions aren't, because the top two are British 303 and the bottom one is 7.62 NATO, and it's converted. The real steel was converted by Holland and Holland and BSA factory and converted to 7.62. Now we have three images of the real steel. These are three images I've taken. They're not quite to scale because I've taken from different images, but I've put them together. But you can see that the three images there, the top two are the number 4 Mark 1, the number 4 Mark 1T, and the L42A1. And as you can see, which I shall highlight, the magazine on the L42A1 real steel is a totally different magazine. It was made a different magazine, obviously, because it doesn't hold British 303 rounds anymore. It holds the 7.62 NATO round, totally different round. So the magazine was made new. As the action was renewed, the bolt, the breech, everything was made for a 7.62. And the new heavy barrel made by Holland and Holland, I believe, needed a new magazine. So there we have it. There is the shaped magazine for the L42A1. Here we have an image so that you can directly compare the Ares L42A1 with the real steel L42A1, and you can see the magazines are different. It didn't use the number 4 Mark 1 magazine. It was an entirely new magazine, so as you can see the difference here yourself. Now we have a close-up comparison of the two magazines side by side. The number 4 Mark 1 on the left and the L42A1 on the right. Both of these are real steel actual magazines. So how do we get from the number 4 Mark 1 to the L42A1? Okay, so welcome to the first part of this conversion of a Ares magazine to a correct shaped L42A1 magazine. So here we are. This is the Ares number 4 Mark 1 Lee Enfield, the number 4 Mark 1T Sniper Lee Enfield, and of course the L42A1 Sniper rifle magazine as well. As we can see, it's the incorrect shape for those in the know. So we're going to convert this one. So the first thing we need to do, on the top here, as you can see, the tangs here are beveled over. They follow the curve of the magazine, and so do the front lips. But what I've done is, as you can see, just got a standard normal pair of pliers, you know, your normal nose pair of pliers, and I gripped these and I bent them so that they are vertical. Okay, Nothing special, just bend that up so that they're vertical. Then what you can do is, this was a surprise to me. I thought the BBs, this is just a top plate and everything was contained in the magazine, but it's not. It's a separate standalone box inside the magazine. There's nothing in the magazine for to do with the BBs. It's a self-contained unit, which actually is very pleasing, because now when I convert this, I can put this back in here and use the magazine as a BB. I was just going to use it for show, so it's correct. But now that I know that it'll work, this will be brilliant. So we can convert it and still use it as a magazine. So once you've got that out, the next part is to start thinking about the cutting. Now, this part of the magazine on an L42A1 is quite pointed. It's not a gentle curve like this. It's almost a 45-degree angle with a slight curvy point. So this needs to be cut out, the whole of the base plate. So I've started with a basic tool of mine, which has fallen on the floor. Oh, excuse me a second while I'm reaching for it. Okay, so what I used, I've got this handheld saw that uses a sort of hand vise. So basically I cut through both sides down to about there, just as this portion starts to go flat. I cut it to there. So the idea is this will be cut either with a Dremel or a saw all the way down there, all the way down this side, and eventually across about there. This then will create room for the very slight bend in the magazine, and then across to the bottom of the base plate. So when that's all cut, I shall pick this out, because it's cut straight across there, and then we'll bend this completely flat onto the bench. And once it's flat on there, I shall make sure it's completely flat and hammer it flat and hammer, you know, so that it comes off there as a completely flat piece. That way I can put something across here and create the fold and the nice sort of pointy curved shape and the angle of the bottom of the magazine. And then we can angle the end piece up and we can create that very slight, it comes down very slight, maybe 10-degree angle, and then across to the corner. That'll be all done. Also, this piece here will be cut out, because on an L42A1 magazine, this ridge here is about, from there, is about this wide. So I should be cutting this out here, down to here, and shaping it, because the bottom of the ridge follows the shape of the magazine as well. So it comes along like that, then curves and up. So we'll be creating a wider, flattened piece. What do you call these? Strengthening ribs, aren't they? They just give strength to the magazine. So it's a bit wider on the L42, probably 1, 2, 3 times wider. So we'll be creating that shape as well in there. Yep, once this is bent out the way, the bevel is going to be removed, because there's going to be extra pieces, obviously, because the bottom of the magazine will be shaped about across like that. So all this will need to be filled in this area, which I'm going to be using PVC, flat sheet PVC glued into place. So there's going to be a block of wood inside, because the block of wood will support this when it goes back in. It'll support the bottom of the magazine so it doesn't fall all the way through. So yeah, when we get to part 2, I'll have cut away this section and I'll show you parts of that. Okay, so here's the next part of this conversion. So as I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to be cutting or using a Dremel down the side of this. So I've decided I'm going to use a Dremel, which I've started. As you can see, if I bring that up there, probably better if I zoom in, because otherwise the focus goes. Yeah, you can see that I've started and it's looking quite good. So I'm going to zoom it down the side of there. Okay, so here we have my Dremel extension, and I'll just switch it on. A bit of noise now, so I'm sorry about this. I might mute this and do an over talk on this. But just to show you, just got to be very neat and straight with it, really. I think I'll lift this up a bit. Just the camera up. There we go. As I said, I'm not going to show all of this. I'll show you what I've done when I get to the bottom, and then I'll film that and I'll show you that. Okay. Okay, so now we have the whole of one side cut through, as you can see, right down through here. We've cut it right through. I'll show you through the other way so you can see through the light. There you can see that the whole of that one side has been cut. I'm going to cut down through this side as well, so I'll show you that after I've done it. Okay. Okay, now we can show that we've cut down both sides. I've done that. Show you through the middle. Look, ooh, a lot of filings. It becomes sort of magnetic. Get stuck in there. But anyway, they're cut right through, as you can see, up to the front. We don't want to cut this back edge off, but we do want to cut this bit here. So I shall do that, and I'll show you that part. And you see, it does wear your Dremel cutting discs out, but I've got plenty of them, so I'll just change one of them and get on with the next bit. Just as an interesting thing, maybe, I prefer these flexi heads that you put on the end of your Dremel type tool. I prefer these. A lot easier to work with when you're just doing things like this, rather than holding that great big Dremel. Whoops, not my camera. Rather than holding that great big Dremel head, you've got this a lot more flexible in how you want to move it, and it's lighter, it doesn't make the hand hurt. So right, we're just going to get on with cutting across this bit, and I'll show you that when it's done. Okay, so this is the next bit I was telling you about. We've successfully cut across the front here to join the two sides, and now we can see this is completely flexible. That's so that I can bend this out at the correct angle. Then I'm going to be making different bits for that. So I'm now going to unfold this completely so that it's sticking out here. Need it flat so that I can put the correct corner bend in this. May have to shave some of this off, don't know yet, but I'll show you that next bit when I've achieved it. So here we go. Okay, so we have our metal unfolded. Excuse me a second, I'll just brush up some mess. Keep the workplace clean. As you can see, I've unstretched it and it's laid flat now. As flat as I want it. It's going to be reshaped. So now we're going to put, I think, a drill or maybe a punch at a certain angle, I'm going to fold this back around so it makes a sharper point. I may have to trim a bit of this off because we don't want this to be any longer, because in actual fact the L42A1 magazine is a little bit shorter than this, so I may just trim off this top corners just to give it some shape. We'll see how it goes with the folding. I shall know then. So okay, I shall try some techniques and then I shall film the result. Okay, so under shaping and bending, this part broke off. Bent it backwards and forwards too many times to shape it. That's okay, because the point that I want to achieve is going to be in there, roughly. Let's bring that in a little bit closer for you. Let's have a look. Oh. Okay, don't know what happened there. Let's have a look. Let's bring that in a bit closer. Right. Yes, so the corner, I want that a bit lower, so it'll be about sort of there. So we're going to cut the end of this off, which is okay because I'm cutting down through this bit anyway to make the flat part of the L42A1 magazine along there, because this rib is wider on an L42A1 magazine. That one's about the same, but this one is wider. So we're going to make this, cut all this out as well so that I can make that. And I'll let you know how that goes and the shaping, so that we can see how it's achieved. Okay, just to note, show you this next stage. I'm going to be cutting along this line here. As I say, you've got to make this wider. So I'm going to cut through, all the way through. And then it's going to be built up in behind, level from inside. And then with filler and things like that, and I'll create this nice shape along the edge here where we've created all the way around this. Now it's not too bad because the magazine, unfortunately, has got the space for me to build up behind it, because when that goes in there, as you can see, there's space in behind the magazine, behind this tongue here. There's at least 5, 6, maybe 7 mil of space. There, you can see better down that side if I show you. So there's plenty of space to build up behind here. So yes, so that'll then still allow the magazine to go in and be used, or the inner magazine to go in and be used as a proper magazine. So I'll show you that when it's done, and you'll understand and get the idea better if I haven't explained it very well. Okay, so now you can see what I've done there is I've cut that out completely, and if you can imagine it, look, this is going to be backed like that. Then we can create the correct width strengthening rib, and it won't matter because there's plenty of room beyond there. In fact, what I'll do is I'll show you that. I shall drop when we've got that backed. Oh, let's hold it. I can still put the original magazine in. Look. Well, I could if I was using a flat piece of metal. Hang on. It's got a very tiny curve on the end of that, which I need actually, but let's just try it again. Let's try it that way. So when this is backed, I can still slide the magazine in. Am I doing it the right way around? Oh yeah, there we go. See, it'll still go in even when we've got this piece back. It'll all be nice and neat and flat anyway, but there's room in there behind to build, which is exactly what I want, because that will be nice and flat in there like that, and then yeah, we can build on that, and I can create the our camera angle. I can create the curved edge with the filler and round and down and the shape at the bottom. Also with this as well, with the piece that broke off, which is this piece, I can get the better corner shape in this, more pointy corner shape in the bottom of the magazine there, and the base plate. Yeah, come along here. I'm going to have to do something with this corner I don't know yet. If I take too much of this corner off there, then the magazine won't fit in. It won't come, yeah, it won't come down far enough. It's, oh, do I go for a dummy one? If I want authenticity, I'm going to have to cut that up a little bit more, because it needs to be from there, really. I'm going to have a think about that. Be nice if I could keep the original mag. Do I go for actual authenticity or a facsimile of an L42 magazine? I'll decide that later. But anyway, let's get on with the other cut on the other side. And yeah, it's going how I want it. And there's no mistakes made yet. Watch this space. But hey ho, thank you. Okay, so this is where we're at with the cuts. Excuse me. As you can see, both sides cut out now, right down, because this, this rib along the bottom of it follows the angle of the magazine. So yeah, when we got that in there like that, that was shaped in there nicely. And it'll look the part. Not this piece of metal, but some other tin stuff I've got. Yeah, when we put it in this side, we can shape and make that so it looks nice with modelling putty or whatever, even body filler. So yeah, so that'll look the part shaped into there. And then the base plate is coming off there. I'll be able to shape that corner correctly so it's at the right angle. That should just come across about there for the angle, and then I've got to see about cutting this. I may just have enough room. So yeah, some measuring and photos and yeah, studying for the angles is next, and I'll show you when I get to that. No, I've missed something, not a mistake, but I've missed something. Just to show you, with the magazine, oops, at the bottom of the L42 magazine coming out not as a acute angle, I'm going to have to extend this rib as well. I forgot. I remembered I was going to have to do that, but I need to cut through there and there, because that will be extended down to the bottom of the slope of this magazine. So yep, I'll show you that when I've done that. Okay, so here we are. I've cut out the bits that I said I needed to. I'll zoom in for that for you. Oops, knocked my camera a little bit. There we can see them. So that's going to extend them ribs down to the base of the magazine when it is shaped correctly on the bottom, approximately about there. So we'll extend them ribs down to where they need to be, not too far, but they do need extending and shaping at the end, and that will look correct then. With the other one, with this one made, then it'll all be good. So as I say, lots of measuring I've got to do now. I've got to print the original photos off. I've got a side-by-side comparison of a genuine L42A1 and a number 4T magazine, and yeah, I can work out the angles and just check the lines, possibly make up a template, cardboard template for this then. Okay, I will show you that when I've done all that. Okay, nearly forgot to record this. I've started to cut the front edge slope of the L42A1 magazine shape. This line here that you can see, this is where the magazine is, this half, you don't see this, only this part of the magazine is sticking out from the receiver magwell. So I've got to cut the front edge slope up to there of the magazine, which comes back down to about here, and then we get the base plate. So I'll show you all this when I've cut it all out and shaped it. But you know, nothing magical. Just cut a line up to there, cut the same shape this side, probably cut it there, bend that plate in across there, and that'll start giving me the basic shape. So I'll show you that once I've done it. Yeah, nobody seems to see doing the cutting out. It's all a bit boring and slow. Well, it is when I watch other people doing that video. It's like when somebody's screwing 10 screws in. I like the videos where they go zzz, 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 and just show the 10. What's the point of seeing somebody go zzz, 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 1, zzz, 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 2, and it takes 2 minutes to show you putting 10 screws in the back of something, and it's like, well, do it in like 10 seconds. We all know what screwing is. Well, engineering screwing anyway. Fast forward, you know, time lapse. Easy. Okay, enough of my rant. Let's get on with this bit. Okay, so we've achieved the next bit, which is the shaping of the corner here. I trimmed it all up, and I've bent the front of that end to give us the slope. Now, the only problem with that is, will we get the magazine in? And whether by modifying the internal plastic magazine part, whether that then stops it loading BBs. Because if we look at this, we can see, we can see that doesn't quite fit anymore. So, for want of, it's just a little bit. Let's straighten all that up. Let's put that level with the back of that. Put that level with there. Oh, it's not much, look. So I'm going to try and shave off the front edge of the plastic internal magazine and see what happens. No great shakes, it'll just be a dummy mag if it doesn't work. So I'm going to cut this bit off, shape it, file it, and try it in the magazine. So yeah, so let me just show you, because I have made a template of the shape of what we need. So there is what's going to be the base of the L42A1 magazine. So as we can see, that's going to be quite good. If it comes off, if it looks apart, it'll look good. But hey ho, time will tell. Filling and shaping and doing will tell, and we'll see if it's successful. Okay, on to the next bit, and I'll film and show you what I've done there. Okay, right, excuse me a deck sec, I'll just clear the decks. And then I'll show you what I've done. I'll show you what I've done. Where's the lid for this one? Oh yes. Excuse me. Right, let's just put this lid on to this item. Perhaps I should have done this before I started the video, but hey ho. It shows you how I work and clear the decks as I go. So I've finished with that for a minute. Finished with the tool there. Finished with that. I've got a table at the side of me where I can put things I'm not immediately using. So that's my tools. Just put them over there. And where's my brush? Yes. Let's just brush the deck. Get all this crap out of the way. These mats are brilliant, by the way. These are cutting mats. I think this is the biggest size you can get. I suppose you could always tape a couple of them together, but for me personally, this is a very good size. When I'm working with my firearms and things like that, I do have you know, them sort of like mouse mat big pads. I've got a pistol sized one and I've got a rifle sized one as well. I always work on there, especially for the L42. Such a great weapon, the Ares, whatever you want to spell it, say it. Okay, so that's done. Right, let's quickly show you then. So what we wanted to know is, can I shape the internal magazine of an original No4 MK1 to fit what I'm doing? So let's show you. This is what I've done. So I've taken off the edge there, just filed it down, used a grinder on my Dremel and then filed it, and it hasn't gone through. It's very thick plastic, that's all I can say. And let's see, well, I know, see, I've already looked, it does, it works. I'm well pleased. There we go. We've still got our shape in there at the front, so the magazine does fit in after I've done it. Whether the BBs will fire out of it, that's a different matter. We can always check that later, but when we look at the shaping with the template, everything's good to go. We're still with the shape, so yeah, it's looking good. I'm feeling confident, feeling good, and it's a bit like car bodywork really. It can be full of filler, but once it's flattened down, smoothed up, and sprayed over, jobs are good. So yeah, so we'll get on with the next piece, which is me working out bits and pieces, thickness of the wood that I'm going to put in at the base of the bottom half. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pain on the workings out, but I shall do it all first and then I'll show you. Thank you. Okay, before I make all the templates for the bottom half of this, I do have to cut off these bevels because this needs to be completely flat on the inside, so you can see the curvings like this. So I'm going to cut that side off, so I can get my flat templates in there and work it. Okay, so that's the next job. Excellent. Okay, let's show you what I've achieved here. Let's do some housekeeping first. Chinese tubs come in handy. The desktop tool holding. There we go, just in there for now. Put that to the side. This is a huge table. It's got sides and da da da. Okay, so what we've achieved. Yep, I've taken off them edges and used my files and just filed them all down and just made it all. None of it's going to cut me unless I catch myself on sort of some edges. But yeah, it's ready. Ready for the templates. So I've got to sort of, you know, I mean, you look at this and it wasn't made properly in the first place. Now I'm been going through it and whatnot. It's not quite square and all that sort of stuff. But hey ho, it's cheap Chinese. So what do we expect? It's good enough. At least it's made it. Still, I was expecting it to be a blacky one, but no, very good. Okay, enough of me moaning about it. Let's get on and make the templates using the cardboard one as my guide. I should be able to make the bottom plates and things that I'm going to be putting here. Basically, I'm thinking of using some sort of plastic or UPVC card, plastic card, or yeah, because there's going to be wood and what's that stuff called? Hot glue and super glue and all sorts of shenanigans on the bottom half of this. Basically, what you can see there, the cardboard, all this is going to be packed, and there's going to be a wedge of wood in there to stop the magazine sliding down too far, but I don't think it will. But yeah, so I've got to achieve all that. Right, on to the next bit. Hello again. Right, well, I achieved what I wanted to achieve. As I said, look, there's wood and there's packing and they're coffee stirrer sticks. I don't know if you can see them. Let's come in a bit closer for you so you can see. There you go. That's coffee stirrer sticks packed in. There's a piece of plastic along there, a bit of tin plate underneath, both sides, and then coffee stirrer sticks wedged in, and they are wedged in. That's and I've got no, I've got no flexing on this, which is what I want. I need that to be a flat, level surface. It's pushed it open just a little bit here, not too bothered. It hasn't pushed this end open, which is of course the bit up until that line there that goes into the magwell. So everything looks good. We've got this level, and on an original that's undisturbed look, we can see that I've still got the level at the right place. Everything looks good on top, so that means it'll still work as a magazine. So yeah, so it won't be just a dummy, it'll be a working one with the correct shape on it. And now perhaps you can see better now what I'm achieving. Look, so let's zoom back out a bit because that's a bit close. Let's just zoom back out a bit. There we go. Perhaps you can see what I'm going to achieve now. So I'm going to put the original base plate back on. That's going to go there just like that, and there we go. Starting to achieve the shape. And all this will be filled in with filler, and then I can put the groove down to the edge. I can reshape the bottom of this. It'll be good. Put filler across there, down the sides, and with wet and dry and sandpaper and fiddling and fettling and fattling, I should be able to do it. So it's stacked, racked and packed, ready to go. So the next bit will be when I've glued it and shaped all this. I'll show you that. Excellent, thank you. Well, here we go. I think I'm getting the basic shape now. As you can see, we've got it packed in with a piece of wood there. This has turned out okay. I've just blacked it in a bit just to see what it starts to look like. All the packing in down the sides. As I say, the coffee stirrers. We have, as I say, a block of wood to give the shape, and I've put the base plate back on. It's all solid and firm. So yeah, it's starting to get the shape. It certainly looks a lot like the template that I made. So that's looking good. Quite happy with that. Sort of follows the line. Fairly good. Might have to just grind this corner down just to get it a little bit lower if I can, so we can get the shaping at the back of here correct. I tapped that in earlier, so I might just pull that out straight. I'd like to start the curve just there and get it sort of across here. So it might be a case I might have to cut the metal bit off there, and we'll just use filler to make the shape there. So I can get this back end just right. Happy with the front looks good. This I should be able to just get that a little bit flatter because it's quite thick steel. So I should be able to do the old rub that along the wet and dry, and then that bit, and that bit, and then rub it like that, and rub it like that, and then we can start putting the nice shaped edges, soft round edges on it. So yes, so there we are there. Haven't got any ideas yet of whether to use, like, you know, modelling putty or actual car body filler, or even chemical steel stuff, you know, that chemical bonding stuff. I don't know how tough that is to sand though. So yeah, so I shall have to have some YouTube investigation and see what it's like. That line across there, by the way, that's where all that portion above there is hidden within the magwell. So we only have this bottom bit sticking out. So yeah, okay. I shall get on with some research and decide what I'm doing. It may be, don't worry about these sort of bits, maybe I'll cut that off across there, cut that bit off there. Yeah, I might have to. Okay, onward to the next bit. Okay, so we're on to the bit that I said about doing the filling and whatnot, and I'm just going to be...
Hey, Dad.
Yes, son?
I want to be famous. I want to be famous on YouTube.
You want to be famous on YouTube?
Yeah.
No, you're too young for that. Tell you what you do, you can pass me a magazine.
Okay.
There you go. Put that over here on the middle. Thank you, mate. There you go. We made your hand famous. How's that?
Good.
Good. Right, that's my 8-year-old son. All right. Okay, so I decided to go with trusty old milliput in the end, and as you can see, it's shaping up to be. Hey, look at that. Yes, we're shaping up to be an L42A1 magazine. The correct shape. I mean, it's not bad. Look, I just got to. When we flatten it, I'm just going to make sure that's flat there. Then I give that a shape in there, and then curve that round. Make sure all that's flat. Flatten that at the back. I've got the 45-degree corner. Got the sharp pointy corner in. Look, And yeah, it's looking good. So, and the magazine is in. Yee! Oh, I didn't see that come up a bit. Oops. Uh-oh. Me make a boo-boo, possibly. Uh-oh. I'll have to see if I can tap that back down. Oops. Or I might have to grind that off. Oh, didn't spot that. Too late now, isn't it? It's all solid and dried. I'm going to leave it sort of 24 hours, though. Oh, well, never mind. I shall, yeah, I shall, hopefully I might get away with that with the magazine fit. But, oops. I will, I'll fettle it if I need to. That's the end of that bit. Next bit will be a bit more dressing and a bit more cleaning up. Okay, well, I've finished all that, well, not so much sanding, but filing. Hey, Jet,
Yes, Dad?
do you want to be famous hands again?
Probably.
Pass me the magazine then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's put it in the middle of the table there. That's it. Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's asking me he wants to do his own YouTube channel and everything at the moment, and it's like, oh god. Oh well. Anyway, as you can see, put me smoke down. Yeah, smoke for me sins. This is where we're at. This I'm very, very pleased with. It's come out much better than I thought it would be. I've still got some bits to pieces to do, where I still need to just shape it. There's a little dip just there, and a little pimple, dibble, whatever you want to call it, pit, that's it. And on the end of here, this has gone extremely well. I just feel as though it just needs a bit more on the one side. All this looks pretty good. I haven't done anything about the magazine yet. I'll wait till I shall get to try that. All that's gone very well. And even the ribs, the strengthening ribs, I'm really pleased with them. There was a bit of, yeah, there you go, in the front here. This needs a piece filling in there. And I might even just do some proper grinding with this on a flat grinder, wheel grinder. Just, I'm not happy with that very, very slight curve in that. That should be flat. I don't know yet, and it hasn't taken this side very well, in the sense of we have a lump just there, and this side just curves around too much. That's correct. This bit isn't. Look. Excuse me. Caught flu at the weekend, and I think it was Thursday, Friday. You may hear me breathing a bit heavy on some of my videos, but yeah, it's caught the flu. I had a flu jab, but I still caught it. Mind you, the boy and the missus, they brought it in. Okay, so I don't know when I'm going to film the next bit, but you lot are not seeing this anyway, because you won't see it until I've uploaded it as a edit when I put them all together. But yeah, the next bit is to spray it up in grey primer and see what needs doing. I'm pleased with the extension of the thin rib, strengthening rib there. That did quite well, just into there. These come out really good. I'm really pleased with them. Really good. They look the part. They really do. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it until I've got some paint and some wet and dry. I've only got a little round wet and dry discs, so I need to get some sheets and a block so I can rub this better and flatter. So yeah, okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, so here we have the transformation. Here is the number 4 Mark 1 Lee Enfield magazine, and here is the transformation. It's the L42A1 magazine. Not completely finished yet, and the finish isn't brilliant. I sprayed it a couple of times and I had to do some rubbing down, but I think I might rub it all down again, completely flat, fill in the missing bits, and do it again. It does scrape the thing as I go in. The other magazine doesn't, but this magazine does, mainly because it's got 3 layers of paint on, possibly. It's got the primer and well, actually it's got the original paint, the primer, and 2 coats of black. So I may have to rub the magwell down a little bit. But yeah, that's the thing. I'll show you what it looks like in the rifle. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite a transformation that's taken part. So yes, I'm very pleased with the way it's come out. Okay, so here is my Ares L42 rifle. I'll just bring that into shot. We'll put it about there, I think, just so I can show you. So here we have the original No4 Mark 1 magazine that they made for it. You know, I don't blame them. They've obviously, these are exactly the same rifle at the end of the day, and they've made this magazine for this furniture, for this metalwork, because it's the same one on the Mark 1, No4 Mark 1 and the No4 Mark 1T. It's quite mad, really, when you think that you know, this is the 3rd evolution of the same rifle. The No4 Mark 1, No4 Mark 1T, and then the L42A1. Okay, so let's take this magazine out and show you the other one for the comparison. It is a little bit stiff going in, so you have to give me a second or two. Let's just fold that out of the way. That's it. But it does fit in. It does go in. There we go, just to show you that is locked in. Can't pull that out without the, look at that. That looks the part. I'm well happy with that, well pleased. And that'll look really good when it's sprayed up and it's nice and neat. But there we go, ladies and gents, boys and girls. An Ares L42 with the correct style of magazine. And that doesn't stick out much too far below that than I thought it would. It's not too bad, it still looks the part. So yes, so there you go, that's how it's done. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be producing some more, just not a very prolific YouTuber. I do these as my projects come along. Thank you for watching.